Our final speaker for this session is Linda O'Farrell, who's the Group General Manager at Fortescue. She joined Fortescue in October 2013 as the Group Manager Fortescue People. She'll talk today about the role that industry can play in empowering change in communities. Please welcome her.
Thank you. Thanks very much. And before I start, thank you very much for your time today, and thank you for everything that you do, because it's people like yourselves that really hold the vision for where individuals can go and achieve much, much more than they ever think that they could, and really support industry to do amazing work. And I'd just like to share a couple of the things that Fortescue has been working on over the past few years. But of course, we always have forward-looking statements. Everyone read those? Yep, good. Disclaimers, don't buy any shares on the back of this presentation, although you might be tempted to, because we have a lot of talent out there. Everything that we do, we attempt to base on our value set, and many of our values go hand in hand. So we're a resources business, but we're about people, and we understand that. Safety and family go hand in hand for us, as does empowerment. And taking our approach to training and to working differently with people is really based on giving people a hand up, not a handout. You may have heard Andrew say that over the years, and it's very true. It's our ethos around, we genuinely believe that people can do much more than you ever expected that they could, which is why we like stretch targets. In the last 15 years, we've become a world-class company from a standing start. We're now a core supplier of iron ore to China. We've shipped over 1 billion tonnes, just hit that milestone this year. We're the world's lowest cost of seaborne iron ore, and we have 170 million tonnes per year of iron ore coming out of the Pilbara, supporting China to become the amazing country that it is, mainly. We have a number of different aspects to our operations. We have around 8,500 people employed, largely in the Pilbara, although we're now starting to move into South America, so it was great to see some of our South American counterparts here today. So we have a number of mines. We have our Cloudbreak and Christmas Creek mines, our Solomon mine, and then we take our ore through to Port Hedland. And we're also looking at a number of new projects as well, so it's an exciting time for Fortescue. When it comes to our people, one of the things that we've been passionate about since the start of Fortescue is actually looking at generational change. And for those of you who've been to the Pilbara, you would know that there's a big opportunity there to employ regionally and to lift people's standard of living and their capacity through economic opportunity. So we've had a number of different pathways within Fortescue over the past 15 years, and our vocational education and training program, our VTech program for Aboriginal people who have found it difficult to get into resources or into employment generally, has been a huge success for us. We've had over 800 people come through our VTech program in the last 15 years, and many of those people are very successfully employed in our operations and in other roles throughout the Pilbara today. We have also realised, in line with many of the other comments that have been made this morning, that we can't just stop at entry-level positions. So many of our VTech graduates came into the business and began to drive trucks, which was fantastic, except that we are now moving into autonomous operations. And in fact, I just had an email from our General Manager of our Christmas Creek mine this morning letting me know that the last of our truck drivers who've been impacted by the autonomous operations have actually just been redeployed in the business, which is a fantastic outcome. So we see technology as an opportunity to redeploy, and like many have said so far, more jobs get created, not less. So it's certainly not something to be afraid of, but it is something to be prepared for. And one of the things that we kicked off about 3 years ago in preparation for this change was a program that we've called Fortescue's Trade Up program. So Fortescue, as with many other resources companies, have long had apprenticeship programs. What we weren't doing was offering apprenticeships to Aboriginal people and to women. So not surprisingly, a few years ago when we had a look at our trades workforce, whilst our employment rate for Aboriginal people was around 15%, Our trades participation was around 3%, and our female participation for trades was around 1%. All of that in line with resources generally. So we decided to do something a little bit different. And since 2015, we've offered apprenticeships to our current employees. So we now have a very different profile when it comes to apprenticeships. We have the majority of our people in apprenticeships are now Aboriginal people. They're adults. And so we found that we really did have to change the way that we were working with our partners, our TAFE, how we were training people, how we were providing those skills to be successful into the future. And clearly we have been very successful because we've got a 98% completion rate of our apprenticeships. But that's come through real partnering with our TAFE, real partnering with all aspects of our business, with our tradespeople, with everyone involved. Many of our contractors came on board and have provided placements for our apprentices. So everything has to change when you want to transform how you provide opportunity. We've had to invest heavily in literacy and numeracy support, and I have to say it's a wonderful thing when people start to take all of that on board themselves and begin to sit at their kitchen tables doing mathletics with their kids, because it's been a long time since they've actually studied at school, and so they're determined, you know, to pass these units. So with the right support, with training on site, we've set up a training team and department on site so that people can actually be in the workplace and complete their apprenticeships. We found that there's really a fantastic pathway towards providing people opportunities that they haven't had in the past. But I'll let our people speak for themselves, and I'm praying that this does actually work, this video. So let's just hear from some of our people.
I think the best part to doing my apprenticeship would be learning to grow as a person, learning to adapt, and to be given an opportunity that if you asked me when I was in high school what I wanted to be and what I wanted to do, I wouldn't have chose this. I don't know what I would have chose. But doing this apprenticeship, it's showing me my passion.
This opportunity means to me that I'm allowed to learn my trade with the flexibility of doing TAFE at site, which is not even that far away, and being able to spend time, one-on-one time with the lecturers, and actually working on some really big machines that are pretty cool. Like, it's just a really good experience.
The way that FMG does their training, and we actually do it on site, we're able to train and work on the machines which are actually on site in a live environment. So over the last 18 months we've been donated vehicles which, you know, the students actually been working on, you know. So as lecturers to come up here and lecture and train on vehicles that actually the students are working on is fantastic.
Best part of this program is dealing with people that may not have had the same opportunities, and you really actually feel like you're making a difference out here.
Fortescue have targeted this program at Indigenous and female employees. I think it's great. Without this program, I would never have got a look at to do an apprenticeship at my age. 11 years in mining and never had the opportunity to. And I think that's the same as a lot of the other guys I work with. Without this program, we'd all still be, you know, in our last jobs that we were doing beforehand.
Becoming a tradesperson to me means a lot to me, not only for my family, but for myself to say, yeah, you know what, you did it.
I don't think I have to say any more than that. Thank you very much for your time, and I've even come under time, so if there is time for questions and answers, I'd be really pleased. Thank you.